For those of us who are new to this and kind of financially illiterate, can you give a kind of dumbed down explanation on what exactly is an ETF,
Oh, sure.
please?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
So an ETF, Ron, is very much like a mutual fund in that it is a lot of different companies, not generally, not even as close as many as there would be in a mutual fund. But an ETF are individual stocks that trade in real time, that are not settled out at the end of the day like a mutual fund. So a mutual fund, if you buy a mutual fund right now, or as soon as the market's open, if you were to click and buy a mutual fund, you don't really know what you paid for that mutual fund until tonight after the market closes. So tonight the market closes, the mutual fund settles all the pricing of all the companies they have in there. They use the analytics that they use to develop a share price based on whether those stocks finished up or down or flat or wherever they were. And that's the price that you get the mutual fund shares for. They're not real-time trading mutual funds. ETFs are real-time traded. They meet with a whole different set of rules. It's a good example of why Timothy Plan, which is a mutual fund company, who has designed 6 amazing ETFs, biblically responsible ETFs. They can't sell the ETFs themselves. Well, how can they not sell something that is theirs? It's their mutual funds. Their ETFs, because the ETFs require a brokerage account. A mutual fund company is just that, a mutual fund company that is regulated by FINRA and other organizations. A ETF is a SEC stock like any other company would be regulated that's on the stock exchange. A mutual fund can be denied by a Charles Schwab who says, we're not selling an Israel fund because we don't want to get canceled, so they don't sell an Israel fund, where they can choose to do that. They can despise, which I'm sure they do, Timothy's ETFs as much as they do their mutual funds, but they can't deny selling them. They can't keep them from being sold because they are on the open exchange on the markets, and they are opening the exchange to the average retail investor to buy whatever they want to buy, and an ETF is treated like a stock. They are generally not a group of managed stocks. They are built as they are, excuse me. They've got 110 stocks. I'm making that up. They've got 110 stocks in them. They all trade in real time all the time. And they're not managed. These are 110 stocks. We're going to leave them alone. We're not going to touch them. We're not going to look at them again. We developed the portfolio, and that's the end of it. Some ETFs are managed. Some ETFs are sector funds. They're all oil and gas. They're all industrials. They're all consumer staples. They're all preferreds, whatever they are. Some of them do sectors like that. They're a little bit more managed. Timothy's ETFs are a little bit more managed because they have a very, very specific strategy to them. The one strategy of the 2 new ETFs are the same strategy that the big hedge fund guys employ in their hedge funds. So they don't like it much that these ETFs have employed the same strategy. They think that's some sort of secret. It's not a secret, but it's not something that is widely used in the ETF market. But they are more like stocks. They are regulated by the stock market, by the SEC. They're not regulated by other organizations. They don't have sales fees. Depending on whether they're managed or not managed, they have some internal fees that might be 0.5% or something. But other than that, they trade. So when you click the mouse at 9:41 in the morning to buy the ETF, you own it. You just bought it, just like you would if you did with a certain utility stock. It's treated just like the open stock, and it is traded in real time. And generally, like I said, not managed. So it is a group. It is diversification. You're going to have a lot of different companies by owning that ETF, but it's much more like buying a portfolio of stock more than it is buying a share of a mutual fund that is a little bit different. You're buying shares of that mutual fund, and it just acts and is treated differently. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.